time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot?
Where'd we play?
Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
We'll head to Buffalo, play on the road. I think the weather, of course, having spent a lot of time in Minnesota, I understand the weather pattern. Pick up the Calcutta Clipper, swings down, swings up, lakefront influence, and out. I think we'll probably have about 45-degree weather, so it will not be a typical October 31st in Buffalo.
You know, sometimes when you practice, you'll set up chairs. You know, and you run through chairs just to show zones and stuff. The Viking defense looks like it's chairs. Defensive backs covering are just atrocious today for the Minnesota Vikings.
Scat right edge.
Confident that we'll be world champions. That's what I've said right from the start, and I'm still confident of that.
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
It's the new me. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start coming in like at 9 o'clock in the morning. Where are you going? Greetings, good afternoon. Ack. I'm the Common Man, Dan Cole. This is the worst all-sports radio station in the country. Cole, Dead, Rigor Morris, Layden. Fossilize the whole thing here until 3. Rosen at 2. Peek at the Purple at 1:15. Tenneby, I'm going to start today's show with something. Are you sitting down?
Yes.
For the first time since 2008, I will be going to the slot machine to watch the Minnesota Wild. Tonight, Minnesota Wild against the Tampa Bay Thunder. And it's a hell of a game from what I understand. I'm really looking forward to it. I will be going there with my firstborn Deuce.
Would we say you think it's going to be a sweet game tonight?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be going otherwise. Yeah. But now you're supposed to say, the game doesn't start till 8:30.
You know the game doesn't start till 8:30, right?
I'm glad you said you'd go with Deuce to the hockey game tonight. Because he needs somebody to go with. You will go with him, won't you? I'm going to go. Yeah.
Wow.
This is what's interesting. And I owe it all to you again. No, this isn't to you. This would be to Chad Abbott. Abbott was the one who finally was able to install, or however download, install, upload, cross-load, sideways load my email onto my phone. So yesterday, I looked at my email during a break, and Emily had sent out an email that said, hey, last second availability, a pair of sweet tickets to the Wild game tomorrow night. First in wins. So that was about 20 minutes before I checked. I thought, somebody's probably to grab those. But Deuce has been asking me if we can go to a Wild game sometime, if I can get some tickets. So I text her back, and she gets back and says, "You're in." And I guess deep down I was hoping I was late. I was hoping some salesperson would have grabbed her instead of me, but what are you going to do? But then and you had told me it was a late game, but I didn't remember that it was a late game. And so then when Deuce said, "Does it bother you that's an 8:30 start?" I said, "I think Tenna might want to go." And then I want to do the bit where, why would the league start a game that late? Don't they want to grow the game?
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to say, "Well, Common, I thought you were the guy that said that didn't matter." And then my response to that would be, "Well, when it didn't inconvenience me, of course I didn't care. But now that it does inconvenience me, they won't."
And it's a regular season game.
Yeah.
It's not like one of the playoff games they do.
And they're not going to drop the puck till 8:50.
Oh, it'll be like an 8:52 start. Oh, yeah. That's the worst.
And then it's 2.5 hours if there's no OT. Oh, the worst will be if they go, "And we have bonus hockey," and then the crowd cheers, right? Because that's what they did I told you the Wolves game story. I got tickets, and by the way, I'm not like Rosen. I don't get the court sides for free. I bought them for baby brother Peter's birthday. Him and 4 of his buddies. 5 seats, expensive, outrageously priced, but I did it because I'm that kind of guy I am. Maybe it was Christmas, birthday or Christmas. I think it was Christmas. And then Potato, Deuce, and myself did the nosebleeds, right? And it went to overtime. And a public address announcer guy goes, "And we've got overtime or bonus," whatever he said. Everybody else started cheering, and I just dropped my head into my hands like this. And Deuce just loved it because I was just, I didn't want to be there in the first place, and now it's over. So now now there's more pain and suffering, and the pain was tremendous. And but I did get Deuce to agree to this. I said, "If it's a 3-goal deficit either way after 2 periods, we're leaving." He said, "Yeah, we can do that."
Wow.
Well, because in all honesty, I mean, and you know what? If I miss the greatest comeback in Wild history, oh no, not that, anything but that. I'll watch the highlights the next day or hear you talk about it. But yeah, I'm going. I haven't been there since I did the Let's Play Hockey. That was back in I think, because Deuce and baby brother Peter were really young. I mean, they must have been 6 and 4.
Wow, that long ago.
Oh, yeah, it was that long ago. They were very young. Maybe they were a little older than that, but not much. And let's play hockey. And then I didn't say this on mic, but then I said, "Let's go home." But I think we stayed for the whole game. I told you when they were into hockey, both of them. We went to a number of Wild games. And I just hated it because they discovered the Hockey Lodge.
Yes.
So now, and they decided, we want to collect all 32 pucks of the National Hockey League.
And they're all
teams.
overpriced.
Well, they're all like $13, $6, $7 overpriced. They're all $13, $14 a puck. So we have to go by, and I've got them all over the house now. But then we decided hockey all of a sudden Pete became a basketball guy after he saw your Banana Underpants.
Banana Underpants changed everything. And then Deuce decided he wanted to play soccer. And You're Insane, and the rest is history. So we kind of stopped. But I'm told that I talked to somebody who said, "I know you're probably not going to pay that close attention to the game." He goes, "But pay attention to 2 things." He goes, "When Quinnesota's on the ice, you'll see how good he is. And then there's a guy for the Thunder or Lightning that's really good. Kucherov. He said, watch Kucherov. He's pretty good.
Where does he rank in the Pantheon? Is he a top 10 player? Kucherov?
Yeah, I mean, for a while, you could probably argue he's top 5. He still might be in that top 5 conversation.
And I'm assuming with an 8:30 start, and they're on the East Coast, they must be a good team too, right? This must be a high profile.
Yeah, they're one of the best teams in the East. I mean, they've won this core group has won multiple cups, and they've aged a little bit, and players have gotten expensive over the years, so it's been hard to manage a salary cap. But they're kind of having a little bit of I don't know what their future is 3 years from now, but they got a shot this year.
Really? Okay. So I'm actually being treated to what should be.
Imagine the 9:30 start. It's gonna be 9:50 in Tampa Bay. That's awful.
It promises to be. Well, I shouldn't say promise because you never know in sports. But on paper, or on ice, this should be a good hockey game, right?
As long as we play better than we did the other day against St. Louis.
When did Quinnesota get back from Hollywood? No, from New York.
He was in New York yesterday.
Yeah. How long was that was late. He didn't get on the air until what time is that? Is that 10:30 our time? Is that late tonight?
Sure,
I don't 11.
Doubt they're taping that live, but
oh yeah, that's right. You're right.
Probably taping it during the day at some point, but
I think you're right. They probably taped that. I think it's like a 4:00 start probably on a tape. So hopefully he's well rested.
8:30 start tonight, so maybe got a little nap when he came home today.
Did you see the piece in the Fish Wrap Factory? I think it was Fish Wrap West. It may have been Athletic, where they talked about, it was one of those feature type pieces, feel-good pieces about the tradition of taking a nap. Hockey players always taking. Did you read the story?
I don't know if I have or not.
Oh, it was interesting. I mean, I read it because I thought it was kind of, I'm not big on reading the gamer type stories. I mean, I'll glance at them just to see if anything interesting happened. I look for quotes, you know how I am. I'm looking for the quotes of like, we really don't really want to play these games. It sort of seems like we're just waiting for postseason. I love juicy quotes like that. But there was a story about the tradition of the nap, and I think one of the players said that he never really took one. Then he gets to the big, and everybody in the locker room said, "Well, yeah, of course you take a nap." And he goes, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll start taking a nap." And they all love it. And they all take naps, and they take varying lengths of naps.
I mean, some of them with the travel and the late night stuff, I'm sure they're even like. I can't speak for all the NHL players, but when I would play hockey, even when I still play men's league hockey, when I'm done with a game,
you're exhausted.
I can't. Well, no, it's just like your heart is pumping nonstop. Like I can't just fall asleep. So even if you wanted to sleep at a certain time, it can take you a couple hours to kind of wind down.
I had trouble getting to sleep last night. Well, for the second time, I've told you my new habit where I fall asleep on the couch. I fell asleep probably 10 o'clock, woke up at 1:30, and this time I decided not to read. I was going to go straight to bed. It took me an hour to fall asleep. I don't know why, because it never takes me that much. I guess it's just my body. My body's used to being up between 1:30 and 2:30 reading. So I think that's what I've done. I've ruined myself as far as sleep goes. I can still sleep. Once I fell asleep, I was fine. I didn't wake up until I heard Deuce's alarm. He's got some song playing on his alarm. So I go.
Cats in the Cradle?
Well, it could have been. It was some, and I started doing the, so I saw him, I came from downstairs and he was packing his lunch, and I started humming or kind of, doing the song of his alarm. I go, "Do you know what song this is? Da 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 da," whatever it was. And he goes, "No, what's that?" I go, "That's your alarm." And he goes, "Oh, sorry about that."
You've got to be kidding me.
Anyways, but it did wake me up. And that's from the other room.
Why is his alarm so loud?
I don't know. Well, he had it. It's on his phone and was sitting on his dresser, which is right by the door of his room, which is kitty corner from mine. So it's very close. So, I'm looking forward to a little, I don't know. My good friend Donnie Lonnquist is hosting tonight, so the boss will be there. So I'll be on my best behavior, and I'll be there tonight, Tennessee. So I'll give you a full report.
Can't wait to hear about tomorrow.
You think Leopold will be there?
I'm sure he'll be there.
I wonder if I can get into his suite.
He'll be on suite level with him.
Yeah. Then I'd like to I would do anything to come in and just sit right next to him in the seat next to him.
How many times have you been in a suite at a Wild game?
Never.
So, I know you're doing a weight loss thing right now.
Yeah, I know. I heard.
But they have this like whole set of tray of dessert, like a dessert cart sitting outside. Oh my gosh!
Well, here's what I'll tell you.
Try walking by that and not getting a dessert.
Yeah. Well, I'm really not. Matter of fact, I'll probably be telling you about eventually here about. And fat loss, but I'm now in the maintenance phase. I'm done with reduction. I lost the 30 pounds in 60 days. So with 80% of your food is purpose, 80% of your food is pleasure, I could have a little pleasure. Now I could have a dessert.
I would get some pleasure tonight if I were you.
I can get a little dessert. Now, again, I got to be really careful about it, but I can. It's all about just maintaining your weight. So I look forward to it. I'll be there tonight, and I'll have a full report on my experience tomorrow. I know everybody's really thrilled about that. Peek at the purple on the other side of the break here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Programming on the Fan today is brought to you by Willow River Company. Tournament week has arrived. The 2026 MSHSL State Boys Hockey Tournament is here, and KFAN is a ringside destination for all of the action. Coverage begins Thursday on KFAN and KFAN Plus, presented by James Hardy, North America's #1 siding brand.
My verification code expired. I've been so busy. Scrambling for this, scrambling for that. I feel like scrambling for Ann Tarkenton. Peek at the Purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric for all of your electrical needs, whatever they may be. I've had them over my place twice. I enjoyed the visit the first time so much. I had them come in and do some additional electrical work. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. They are shockingly affordable. Here's what Kevin Seifert tweeted, Tenneby. Jonathan Greenard is a cap number of $22.3 million in 2026. He's a core player, a locker room leader, and in the prime of his career. It's also worth noting that when he was injured in 2025, Dallas Turner, a 2024 first-round pick, had a very productive run. What this is leading to, Tenneby, is you sent me a little bit earlier today an Adam Schefter tweet that reads as follows. Vikings are now open to trading Pro Bowl rusher Jonathan Greenard for sources. They would like to keep Greenard, but they also have salary cap issues they're working through that have led to these trade conversations. He's been really good for the club. I don't understand how. I mean, I know you have salary cap issues. Don't you? I thought we always kicked the can down the road when you had players you really wanted to keep. You're able to say, hey, let's readjust it a little bit. We'll give you a little bit of a signing bonus here and we'll move it on down. I don't pretend to understand what the Rob Brzezinskis of the world do, but Greenard's been a productive player. Here's what DraftKings said. Over the last 3 seasons, 42 starts, 149 tackles, 27.5 sacks, 43 tackles for loss, 6 forced fumbles. That sounds like some really good productivity for a football player in 3 years. Your thoughts?
I predicted on these airways months ago that this was going to happen, that he was going to be a cap casualty. And I think it's a combination. I think everyone listening likes Jonathan Greenard as a player. And in a perfect world, you'd have him back. But they have major cap issues. And he's making $22 million. And you can't say this about many positions on the Vikings, but it's a position where we have depth. We have strength, right? You already have Andrew Van Ginkel, and you have a guy that you gave up a lot of draft capital to move up in the first round, and he was playing well at the end of the year, and he's younger, and for now, he's cheaper. So I don't think it has anything to do with being disappointed with Greenard. Sure. It just makes a lot of sense that let's allocate this money elsewhere. When when all 3 of them are healthy, they can't all play at the same time anyway. So you open up some room for Dallas Turner to play more while getting rid of some cap space.
It kind of caught me off guard, but I guess everything you say makes sense. It does. I think
Rob Brzezinski and Kevin O'Connell know exactly what they're doing.
You can't keep everybody, right? I mean, as a Lions fan, I didn't like the idea of losing Demo.
But they're already strong at the position.
But they are strong at the position. Yeah. They got one of the best running backs in the league. Now, I think part of the reason he was so good, I like their change of pace, what they did. I like the tough yards that Demo was able to get for them. And, I don't know. You can't keep everybody. I don't think he was happy with, he wouldn't have fit into my theory about 4 or 5 running backs. He's a guy that wants to play more. And maybe a lot of them do. But he's not going to get, you're not going to get more carries than Gibbs. You're just not. No. You're not as good. You're a good player. You have a place in the league. It's obvious, but you're not going to take carries away from him. So,
For the Purple, there's only so many hands that can go into the grass.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
There are only so many hands that can go in the grass or the AstroTurf, and that would be, so Greenard could be gone. Someone said, no one's going to give up picks to wait for him to get waived. That's not true, because if Greenard's got that kind of value that I think he might have, there will be several teams that would want his services, and they're not going to all wait until he, right, take a chance on him picking someplace. If you contact the Vikings and say, we're interested, we'll give you a fourth or whatever it would take to get Greenard, I think there will be suitors on a trade, don't you? Or do you think it?
Well, you'd have to agree to a contract though with Greenard ahead of time.
Okay.
You're not going to trade for him and then he's a free agent. Like, no, I guess he wouldn't be a free agent. He would just. Yeah, they're looking to trade him. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I completely spaced that.
Yeah, so
I think there'll be suitors out there.
Yeah, I would, because I just think that.
I think I saw someone suggest like the value for him might be like a second rounder.
That would make sense.
I think there's a team out there that would give up a second round pick for Jonathan Greenard.
Especially he's a plug and play guy, right? I mean, it's not like it's like, well, we got to see if he fits our scheme, and we're going to have to work him into the starting lineup. He comes right in and plays. He's I would put him into that category of your mercenary kind of a guy. Yeah. Have football, we'll travel. I can play with you. Yeah, you saw what I did. Just, let me play and I'll play. And he could be that'll be a position of need for somebody that's willing to give up something for him. So, yeah, it could be nobody makes a trade offer, but my guess is somebody will. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. I don't this is going to come as a shock to people. I don't think we're going to talk about the quarterback position right now, because I don't think anything's changed between today and yesterday when we talked Vikings quarterback. Nothing's changed as far as I know, and unless you found a nugget out there, but I don't think anything has changed. So here we are. We're just kind of in a bit of a holding pattern, wondering who the Vikings are going to acquire. So I guess we are talking quarterback. Everybody believes, and I think they have to. They're going to get somebody. It just matters if they want to get like a Murray, a Cousins. Who was the other guy they were talking about? Not Mariota, but
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith.
I mean, we're only 6 days away from the legal tampering period, so
a player of that ilk, or if they. And again, we talked about it. I really don't see it being announced the Vikings have traded for like a Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson. I guess stranger things have happened, but I wouldn't expect that. So we'll just have to let that play out and see how it goes. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Whatever your electrical needs are, affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric. They are shockingly affordable. Rosen just about 20 minutes away here on the Fan.
Oh, boy.
KFAN welcomes some great shows to the Ledge Amphitheater this year. John Mulaney will be there August 22nd, and Blues Traveler and Gin Blossoms will be there September 12th. Get the complete details on all our upcoming shows on the concert page at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Well, 13-14 pass here on the Common Man program. You know what the worst thing that can happen to you running a half marathon, Teneby?
What's that?
Pass out. That's what Deuce once said about long distance running. I saw this story from over the weekend out of Atlanta, Georgia. Here's what it says. It's an Associated Press story. The runner who was leading the women's race at the U.S. Half Marathon Championships until she was mistakenly let off the course by a guide vehicle is calling for the United States track and field to make right an outcome that cost her a spot in the World Running Championships this fall. Jess McLean was ahead by a wide margin with about 1.5 miles to go Sunday when she and three other runners followed the guide vehicle on a wrong turn. They were supposed to take a left and take the Joyzy Turnpike, and they went right and they went to Schenectady instead. McLean said in an Instagram post that she followed a police escort, official lead vehicle, and a media motorcycle off the course for about 1 kilometer. That's what she wrote. I had to come to a stop, make a tight and complete U-turn, and run back onto the course as a national championship title and a world team spot slipped away.
I'm going to try my hardest to walk away from this weekend remembering the joy I felt in those moments where I thought I was on my way to becoming a national champion and finally make the Team USA outright. McLean, who was from Phoenix, ended up finishing 9th. The next two runners who followed her off the course, Emma Hurley of Colorado Springs and Edna Kurgat of Roswell, Georgia, were 12th and 13th, respectively. Molly Bourne of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, crossed the finish line first in 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 43 seconds. Here's what she said. I don't really feel like the U.S. champion just because of the whole situation that went down at the very end. Now, what it says, Tenneby, it said McLean and 3 other runners who followed the lead vehicle appealed after the protest of the order of finish was rejected. The USATF said in a statement the jury of appeals found the event did not meet USATF Rule 243 and that the course was not adequately marked at the point of misdirection. This violation contributed to the misdirection taken by the athletes within the top 4 at the same time of misdirection. However, the jury of appeals finds no recourse within the USATF rulebook to alter results or to alter the results order of finish. The results order of finish as posted is considered final. Now, what I had read earlier on the weekend, that I don't see it here, it said something about the runner still at the end of the day is responsible for knowing the course.
Sure.
But I would feel cheated as this. I don't know what the solution. Well, they've just decided too bad. I mean, they're just washing their hands of it and just saying, "Hey,"
because they don't know what to do. Because there's no winning outcome here.
Yeah, there really isn't.
No.
Even the girl the woman that won, even she says, "I really don't feel like the champ," because she was going to finish a distant, who knows, 4th, 5th, 8th, whatever the case may be. And I guess you can't do it over again. Right? You can't bring everybody back. I'm sure it's a rather large undertaking, I'm assuming, right? You have to set up a course, you have to shut that down, people got to register, you got volunteers, the whole thing. But how does this lead vehicle and the police escort not know where? I mean, you would think they would know. Now I'm wondering, is there an inside job?
Maybe they had money on the other gal.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Somebody, or it was a friend. It's almost like Galuli, Stant, and Eckhart. And then what was the skater's name? Why can't I remember her name?
Tanya Harding.
Maybe it was one of those kinds of things. But this isn't, to me, I don't even know how do you let that stand? I guess you have to, but
I also want to know, is the guide vehicle, is this someone who's employed by the race, or is this just is like one of those volunteers you get at the 3M Open that's just there to...
Well, here's what it says. The USATF said lead vehicles are provided and managed by the local organizing committee, which is the Atlanta Track Club.
Sure.
So probably someone who wanted to volunteer for it. That's a cool job. I'll be the truck that's guiding the way. And it's like, you might want to know what the route is. I mean, because to me, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but this is wrong.
Can you imagine if running in this race had the popularity of the NFL? The outrage you'd get on social media? You'd have people trying to figure out who was driving the lead vehicle, and then once they find pictures of this person, they'd post their address. This person would get death threats.
Here's what McLean said. That was the gal that would have won, right? Now, mistakes happen, and I'm sure those who were leading us feel terrible about the outcome. I just hate that the athletes are always, that's capitalized, the ones who pay the price. And then she has literally, and she has cash signs in there time and time again. She said she trusts USATF and the Atlanta Track Club can somehow make it right for the athletes who were let off course. Sounds like conversations are still being had. So I'm choosing to remain hopeful that we'll soon have a little more clarity than what we left Atlanta with and actionable steps forward. So, yeah, look, I don't have a horse in the race. Of course, it's not a horse race; it's a human race. So of course, you couldn't have a horse in the race. A horse is a horse, of course. I don't have a dog in the fight either. It's not a fight. There's not dogs. It's not. I'm not going to pull a Rosen and say I won't rest until justice is done here. But I'd be PO'd if I was the McLean person. It's like
Now, again, it wasn't in this story, unless because I was kind of skimming. I shouldn't admit working at the All Sports station that I just skim stories sometimes. But I know I read in the one over the weekend that it did say at the end of the day, there is something in the rules that say ultimate responsibility for knowing the course is up to the runner. So I guess technically it's one of those, too bad break, but that's just the way it goes, right?
And it was only 3 of them that followed. Clearly there were other gals out there that... Well, yeah. Unless they were so far back.
Well, that's what I think.
Yeah.
I think they were so far back it turned into a 3-person race. The gal that said, I don't really feel like the U.S. champion because of the whole situation that went down at the end, she did the interview on Fast Women YouTube channel.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, I know. You told me about it one time, and I never checked it out, but now I'm gonna subscribe to it, the Fast Women YouTube channel. It's fast. You don't even have to watch it for very long. That's the beauty of it. Anyway, there's that. And so I sort of feel bad. I mean, not so bad.
It's a no-win situation.
It is.
There's not a ruling you can make that is the correct ruling.
Yeah. Then there's one other Associated Press story I saw. Do you know who Luke Cornett is?
No.
NBA player, Atlanta Hawks.
They always boo him. I don't understand why.
Yeah, I don't know. They do.
They announce him before games.
Or he'll make a basket and they'll go boo.
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
This is an Associated Press story from this morning. Luke Cornett called on the Atlanta Hawks to cancel their upcoming collaboration with Magic City, saying he and other NBA players are surprised by the team's decision to promote the Adult Entertainment Club.
I was going to say, what's Magic City?
San Antonio Spurs Center wrote Monday that allowing the March 16th event during the Hawks game against the Atlanta Magic would reflect poorly on us as an NBA community, specifically in being complicit in the potential objectification and mistreatment of women in our society. Cornett, in a blog post, said, regardless of how a woman finds her way into the adult entertainment industry, many in this space experience abuse, harassment, and violence, which they should never be subjected. He said the NBA failed to acknowledge that this place is, as the business itself boasts, Atlanta's premier strip club.
The premier one.
The premier one. The Hawks announced a promotion last week saying it would include a live performance.
Come on.
By Atlanta native T.I. in 2 versions of Magic City's famed chicken wings and a special hoodie available for purchase. Right up Rosen's alley. Because of the Hooters thing, this is right up Rosen's alley.
Is this like a parody story?
No, it's not.
There's no way a professional sports team thought this was a good idea.
This is why. Well, that's why it's just not a good idea. I think, and again, adult entertainment clubs, strip clubs, they're legal. Depending upon
if you're of age.
If you're of age, and they're legal to. It's a legal business, right? And I guess if the Atlanta Hawks want to get tied in with that for promotion, but yeah, it's like there's kids in the audience, and they're going to have a performance by T.I. Whoever T.I. is, I don't know.
He's a rapper.
Oh, is T.I. a rapper?
Yeah, he's got some good hits.
Oh, I thought maybe T.I. was one of the ladies that was going to be performing, and they're going to have a performance there.
Yeah, baby.
What were they thinking?
I don't know. And again, it's. Look at at the risk of being called.
The players are the moral compass
here. Right. and at the risk of being considered a prude, what's wrong with it, Common? I go to strip clubs all the time. Nothing wrong with it. Well, okay, that's you're right. There, you can go if you want. They're legal tender. But I like, for instance, Tenneby, and you might even find this as a shock because I rarely turn down appearance money. But if they said, do you want to appear at a strip club next Saturday night for a few $100, I'd decline.
You'd say, yeah, I already go there for free anyway. Might as well get some money.
Hold on.
I'll get you a few lap dances with that money.
Yeah, so I would just say I'm out.
Yep, yes.
I can't do that. Plus my wife would want me to.
I don't think she would approve of that.
Yeah, but it's like, so that's what they're dealing with. And like you say, the players, the moral compass, are going to say, now what are we doing here? So there you go. That's
I still don't believe that's a real story.
Well,
that has to have been made up. No team would ever think that was a smart idea. Not to mention, does the club even have enough money to make even have to think about it? Right? They're giving you so much money. They can't have that much. Can they?
I don't know. I saw it and
that's crazy.
I saw it and I looked at and I thought to myself, no, not a good thing there. One golf note for you here. Jon Rahm tore into the European Tour Tuesday over its offer for him and other live golf players to rejoin, claiming the tour was extorting players by forcing them to play additional tournaments. Rahm, competing this week in Live Golf Hong Kong, spoke publicly for the first time since the European Tour announced a deal that would require Live players to pay previous fines for not getting releases and to compete in additional events designated by the tour. 8 players from Live, including Tyrrell Hatton, accepted the deal. Rahm did not. Here's what Rahm said. I don't know what the game they're trying to play right now, but it just seems like in a way they're using our impact in tournaments and finding us and trying to benefit both ways from what we have to offer. In a way, they're extorting players like myself and young players that have nothing to do with the politics of the game. So I don't like the situation, and I'm not going to agree to that. Story goes on to say players are required to play 4 tournaments, not including the majors, to keep membership on the European Tour. Rahm said the deal would have required Live members to play 6 tournaments. And then Rahm said, and they dictate where 2 of those have to be, among other things that I don't agree with. I've been a dual member my whole career, PGA, DP. Never once have I been asked for a release to play either one of those tours. So why is it now that we need to be offering this and there's still these penalties? I don't like the situation. I don't understand all the ins and outs and the technicality of this. I just find it really hard to have any sympathy for Jon Rahm. The money they gave him to go play Live, I don't know if it's any of it's public, but it's hundreds of millions of dollars they gave him. Hundreds of millions. Hundreds. He may have been paid more probably than any other player. Other than maybe Koepka. I know Mickelson got a big chunk of change in DeChambeau. Those are the big names. Those are the guys that got really hefty checks. And I don't know if it's ever been public how much those players received, but they're asking Johnny to play 2 extra tournaments.
ESPN reported it was more than $300 million.
$300 million. $300 million. So more of that, but they even say 300.
And he'd already made 122 in his career.
And so now and I guess he's probably doing it on the principle of things, but, they're extorting money from him because they want him to play 2 extra tournaments. And guess what? They tell me where I have to play. Poor John.
It's like modern day slavery.
Yeah, well, it is. That's what I was going to say. It's like modern day slavery. Telling them you have to play and you have to pay some of those. And what are those fines anyways? $125,000, $50,000, $100,000, whatever it is. It's walking around money for a guy like that. And I love watching him play. I mean, Mickelson doesn't have much left, I don't think.
No.
But Romster, DeChambeau, and who's the other guy? Koepka. They still got a lot to offer, I think. I mean, Koepka was pretty good this past weekend. He played. He's trying to get his game back in gear as he gets ready for Augusta. And I think he didn't finish in the hunt. I mean, I think he was 8 shots back, but he played pretty well throughout the entire weekend. So, as much as I like watching those guys, like I say, I have a hard time drumming up a lot of sympathy for poor Jon Rahm, and he did throw in the other, extorting these other players who had nothing to do with it. They had some of the young guys, but they all made their bed. They all decided they wanted to play and live, and so in Live now.
And they knew that what came along with that.
Yeah, and I think Liv's starting to die. I really do, because now that they've lost Koepka, who do they even have left? They have DeChambeau.
But even he was, it sounded like maybe the next year.
Yes.
He's got like a year left on his contract.
Yeah, he's probably going to come back. And now I think I don't think Rahm ever really, I think he was torn. Because he's like
he's a historian.
He is.
Yeah.
He knows every tournament, who they won, everything about the players, and he loved it. But then all of a sudden they dangle $300+ million in front of you. It's hard to say no. And now that Koepka's gone and DeChambeau might go.
But does he know that, like, after 5 years, like, that money's going to be gone? You got to be flossing. You got to be flashing your money.
You're flaunting
your money.
You're flaunting.
So, that money ain't going to last you forever, John Rahm.
Because, look at, what people don't understand, and I try to explain to them, $300 million is like $175 million, okay, after taxes. The house, car, jewelry, taxes. We already said that. Save.
Flaunt.
Can you make that last? Can he make $175 million last? Then he made $120 before that. Can he make that last? That's the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand. I'm starting to feel bad for John now, having to pay those fines.
I always love that.
That's a lot of loot. So, anyway, I'm hearing rumors that there might be golf courses open this weekend.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We're going to be above average. Mercury's going to play tag with 60 on Sunday. And all week this week, we're in mid to upper 40s. So I'm hearing some rumors, and as the official, unofficial ambassador of Minnesota Golf, and with my relationship with the Minnesota Golf Association and golf courses all across the Twin Cities, I'll let you know as soon as I hear anything. And one of my favorite segments, incredible, Wheel of Topic, probably coming back soon. And you know what I'm thinking of doing, Tennessee? You know how some shows will re-rack an interview they've done to close out the show?
Yeah.
I'm thinking we should re-rack Wheel of Topic every day.
Sure, people would love to hear it a second time.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking, because it's a pretty good segment. So we'll take a break. The legendary one, Mark Rosen, joins us next here on the Common Man program on The Fan.